Hello, I'm Guy Cocker and welcome to day 3 of our Gamescom coverage here in Cologne, Germany. I'm stood in front of the Uncharted 3 Brabus, which is just in front of a hotel for no apparent reason. Here's the news on the 3rd day of the show. Yesterday, just ahead of the Sony press conference, Sean from our US team got out his crystal ball and made this prediction.
I'm going to go out on a limb and assume that they're going to announce the release date for Vita in Europe and North America.
Sadly though, it wasn't to be, as Sony's representatives got on stage one by one and announced pretty much everything but a release date for the PlayStation Vita. So what did they announce? Well, our rundown of the top 3 stories includes a price cut for the PlayStation 3, which now goes down to £199 in the UK. Our second news story is a new version of the PlayStation Portable, which confusingly will play UMD discs but won't connect to the internet. It's kind of an anti-PlayStation Portable Go, and it's being aimed at the kids market, according to Sony. Our third news story is a couple of new games for the PlayStation Vita, including a version of Resistance and a new game called Escape Plan. Escape Plan is an interesting black and white puzzle platforming game, and Resistance is a bona fide shooter for the PlayStation Vita. You can catch previews of both games on the site now, so head over to GameSpot.com. Gamescom is officially open today, but only to the press, mind you. Johnny got his press pass and headed into Hall 6, which houses such delights as EA and Activision, so here's his report.
Hey, this is Johnny here on the show floor at Gamescom 2011, kicking things off in the THQ booth, where we've got behind me Saints Row the Third, and then in order we've got a look at Stronghold 3, WWE 12 over here, UFC Undisputed 3, if you really like punching men in the face, they built a bit of an octagon. Then they've got the ever-glamorous Space Marine, full of blood and guts and gore. These guys here are playing it right now, in fact. And then next to that, if edged weapons are really your thing, we've got a look at Ninja Gaiden 3. And then very finally, THQ are showing off Metro Last Light. THQ have even got self-filming cameras on the show floor, so they can film us, filming them, filming us. Also, Seb is here. And while it's kind of quiet on this stage at the minute, doubtless it's going to be getting a lot of love at this year's Gamescom. 2K have come out strong with a look at Borderlands 2 and Bioshock Infinite. Activision, meanwhile, have undoubtedly one of the biggest presences at this year's conference. They're going upside your head with about 6 different kinds of rifle butt, like Call of Duty Black Ops, GoldenEye Reloaded 007, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, Prototype 2, no. And of course, a veritable snowstorm of Blizzard properties. Right here, we've got World of Warcraft Cataclysm, but they're also showing off StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm, which is, of course, the Zerg campaign. And then over there, with some of the longest queues we've seen so far at Gamescom, they've got the highly anticipated Diablo 3. People have been waiting a long time for this game. They're willing to queue, and they're really excited to see it. All the queue belong to Diablo 3. And of course, another very strong contender for heftiest queue at this year's Gamescom 2011 is the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. Clearly those 40 minutes of gameplay footage that they recently leaked left people hungry for more, as it really is one of the hottest tickets at this year's show so far. And as always with Capcom, it's not about a fancy enclosed booth, it's about people just playing the game. So here they've got Resident Evil Revelations, they've got Dragon's Dogma, and then round this corner they've got Azura's Wrath, and one of the most sought after fighting titles of the whole expo, it's Street Fighter Cross Tekken. And then, of course, we come to EA's Apoca Zone at the end of the hall. So big, it's rumoured to have its own parliament this year. EA have, of course, come out in force, or rather, the force for Star Wars The Old Republic. Ha ha. They showed off some new cinematics earlier in the week, and people seem pretty excited about it. Let's see what they think. Again, not so much with the talking. It really is difficult to give you an idea of the scale of momentum EA have thrown behind this year's Gamescom. They've got everything from Need for Speed The Run, FIFA 12 over here, they've got Mass Effect 3 way in the back on the big screen, The Sims 3 over here, and, well, where would it be without Battlefield 3? Battlefield 3 really does have a massive booth with some hefty queues as it prepares to lock horns with Modern Warfare 3 to become one of the most wanted titles of the Expo. People are really excited because they're bringing in co-op, and they're of course bringing back a classic vehicle from the Battlefield series. Screw it. So So that's it from Hall 6 at Gamescom 2011, but for more on all these titles and plenty of other stuff, head on to gamescom.gamespot.com. And award for stupidest peripheral of the show so far goes to Hunter's Trophy.
That's it from us today. You can catch another episode of Start Select tomorrow, so we'll see you from Germany then.